Hello everyone and welcome to Crypto Wall Street. This is Charlie Klasko. Today we're going to make a review of Upfiring because I've received a number of requests from you guys about Upfiring and my thoughts on it, so I'm going to go through that here in a second. Most of you have probably seen that Bitcoin and the market has been taking a hit over the last night here, US time, day in Asia, because the Japanese exchange, one of the Japanese exchanges was hacked as well. Quite interesting. But Bitcoin is back up, the market is back up. We are seeing a slow rebound from the huge market hit we've had the last couple of weeks here, so that's interesting. But now let's take a look at Upfiring and how they're doing. Alright, so taking a quick look at Upfiring here, we can see it's traded for about 80 cents per UFR token. Market cap of a little over $12 million and a circulating supply of 15.5 million UFR tokens. It's traded at two different exchanges. You can see here, Cryptopia and Ether Delta. So let's go to the website and see that. So here we go, Upfiring. Incentivized and decentralized peer-to-peer file sharing powered by blockchain, increasing file availability by reason to seed. So basically Upfiring is a file sharing application that incentivizes you to seed. So it's the whole idea of the platform itself is alike. It's not similar to Pirate Bay, but it has similar features, where Upfiring here, they incentivize you to not give up your space on your computer, but by seeding certain files that you want to share, and you incentivized in that way. It's a peer-to-peer system building on the blockchain technology. My question to that is, well, it's built on the Ethereum blockchain. My question here is this going to be a network overload? Because one of the things they mention as well is that you are free to send large files over the technology here for free. So that's a question I definitely have. That's interesting. So their question here, or excuse me, their problem they're solving basically is that they say it's hard to find people that seeds desired files. There's really no incentive, making downloading these files very difficult and close to impossible. So how they solve the problem here is simply by incentivizing, by paying out UFR tokens for people who are seeding certain files and sharing it with others. Now, one thing I'm not too keen on here is that I did some research on it, and I didn't find it on either the website here or in the white paper, but actually on Reddit. I found that you are actually not able to search for any files on the platform. So if you have a file that you want to share with someone, what you do is that you get a link, and then you can take that link and share that on certain community websites as well. That's a minus in my book. It's entirely up to you what you think, but I think this decentralized part of the idea here takes a little wrong direction here when you can't search for it. I think it complicates things if you want to share very highly desired files, but then you have to share the link for it at other websites. I mean, I understand their concept of it, that they don't want to have a centralized server and going into risks of sending files to other countries with different regulations. I totally recognize that. I just think it complicates things tremendously when you can't search for specific files in there, and you got to be in certain communities and share links that way. The website is pretty simple. Token distribution here, you can look at that as well. They talk about the problems and how they solve it. Small video there. Something I just stumbled upon is they have the results here of the website. They say there's 13,275,000 tokens generated. That is, let's see. Yeah, 13,275,270.1382 UFR tokens generated. Does not really go hand in hand. Where is it? Right up here where it says the circulating supply of 15,500,000 UFR tokens, and the total supply is 24 million. So it's not really updated. I don't really like that. I'm not too big, it's a minus in my book as well. Things like that is not up to date. But let that be. I mean, the idea of Upfiring is is fine. I completely like it. You know, the cool thing is that they have it's a web and iOS Android application, so it's an app you download on your phone where you can send these big files. So imagine you have a big video file you want to send to someone somewhere else in the world, and you can send it immediately for free. And they claim it should be going it's pretty fast, well, ultra fast distribution and transferring of files between peers. I definitely like the idea. I don't see how it differs too much from WhatsApp, for example. I mean, because you know, the speed of it again is going to depend on your internet connection anywhere in the world you are, and especially when you do it on the phone, you are relying on the network you're on. So if that's just slow, you know, there's nothing to do, even though their network is fast. So, and you can do that with WhatsApp as well. Taking a look at the white paper here, it's okay. You know, they said they updated December 21st, 2017. Not sure about that. I found a couple of mistakes that was not corrected in this version compared to what I found on Reddit here. I'll get back to that. But, you know, white paper here seems fine. They describe the problems, why they're in the market. There is nothing about the team. Neither is there anything on the web page here about the team. Mine is in my book. I don't really like that. I like to see who's behind and what their skills are and why they're competent to do it. But in the white paper here, you can, you know, they describe the network, why it's fantastic, why they should succeed, etc. One thing I stumbled upon is the roadmap here, which is pretty simple. It only goes to second quarter of 2018. I don't think that's I think they need to update it. I think, you know, you definitely need, as, you know, a business owner here and starting a very profitable, or at least a company that has lots of potential. You gotta have a plan for the future more than just, you know, a quarter or two ahead. You gotta have a longer plan. So that's really mine in my book as well. I'll remove that. And the other thing, as I said here, you know, they say here that Upfiring application release end of first quarter, and interestingly enough, 4 months ago, so meaning before this paper here was updated in quotation points, because I'm not sure it is updated. I think they just updated on the top here where it says it's updated December 21st, 2017, because 4 months ago, not 4 months ago, on Reddit here, which is 4 months ago, they say that they're releasing the application in quarter 2. They expected to do it end of 2017, but now they do it in second quarter of 2018. So that's not updated in the white paper. I don't really like that. But otherwise, I'm missing something about the team in the white paper. It is not too, you know, there's a lot of text in here. It's more, it's one of the more selling white papers I've read, you know, compared to actually describing the business and why it's a great concept. But, you know, that's may just be me. You can read it yourself and see what you think. And there's a mistake on. Someone is asking about the hard cap and the soft cap here in the comments, and that there was a mistake in the paper here as well that was pointed out. So that was another mistake that wasn't updated. So it seems like, you know, there's a few mistakes here. It's not up to date. I'm not sure how I feel about that. If I had to invest in it, and there's a few other things here that I wanted to point out on Hacker Noon here. The Upfiring team apparently answering a few questions here and talking about some things. You know, updating things, and one of the things I stumbled upon was under price discussions here, where they simply point out here, focus on technology and what the project is trying to accomplish, assess what you think its value is, and remember that the market can always go in both directions. Basically, they're just answering, someone's asking about the growth of UFR, and you know, they're simply talking about, you know, someone is asking, how about the future growth of UFR? And they're giving their answer to it, and you know what comes in my mind is that I'm wondering why it's not more optimistic. You know, it seems like they are preparing people that if they're buying into UFR, you know, just be ready that it doesn't mean that it may increasing growth in the future and just focus on the value that you think this company is providing. The other thing is, to refer back to Warren Buffett that I did before, he points out that the most important thing in a business success is the team behind, who's driving the business. And there's absolutely nothing about the team on the website or anywhere on the internet that I found. And I think that's a red flag for sure for me. Another thing that I stumbled upon was under this section here. In the end, it says that the final 2.1 million UFR that was designated for contribution periods 2.0 will be held in reserve until a detailed plan is made for its use, meaning they don't have a plan yet. I don't like that. The current thought is that it will be used, the current thought, so it's still, preliminary thought, to help form partnerships and create an affiliate program to help bringing Upfiring into more mainstream peer-to-peer communities in the distant future, months or years after the application launches. And then I'm like, listen, there's no clear answer for when the application is being launched. That's number one. Number two, themselves here, they're writing, they're going to use the remaining 2.4 UFR tokens to form partnerships and create affiliate programs to help bring Upfiring into more mainstream peer-to-peer communication in distant future, parentheses, month or years after the application launches. Listen, this is very vague, and I don't know, it just seems like, they don't even believe in their own project. That's the feeling I get from reading this. I may be wrong. I definitely like the idea that they have, but the team behind the way it's handled here, I don't really like that. It's not meaning that they're not competent to do it. It's just the way it's being handled and the way it's perceived on the web here. And this here, I definitely don't like. Month or years after the application. I mean, there's a big difference between month or years after the application launch. I mean, they got to have a plan or an expectation of when that's going to happen. It seems like everything is just in the air, nothing is planned. We'll just weed it out and drift around. I don't really like that. For me, it seems like this has been made by less professional people. It's not really thought through at all. So the other thing, just thinking about here with Upfiring, there are a number of other companies as well doing similar things. They're doing here file sharing. Competitors are Coin and Filecoin, and compared to those, what's the competitive advantage of Upfiring? Upfiring is incentivizing you to hold specific files you want to share, where Coin, for example, or Filecoin, I'm not sure which one, don't hold me accountable for that, but one of those are, the concept of that is that you just share space on your application instead. Not sure how big of a difference that's making. That's what Upfiring claims to be their competitive advantage. But I don't know. That's up to you whether you think that's a competitive advantage or not. So, review of Upfiring here. You can take that as you want. I really like the idea of the file sharing platform. I think there is some potential to get from that. That's a thumbs up. The thumbs down is definitely Upfiring itself, the company itself, the way it's handled, the white paper, the team. There's nothing about it. This is just my personal opinion. Take it as you want. You don't do due diligence, but it is something I would definitely think twice about before I'm investing in. I'm not saying you can't make money in it. This is the crypto world. Everything happens very fast, and I'm absolutely sure there will be money to get in it. Short term, long term, I would, as I said, think twice before I'm holding my investments in that coin. If you want to stay current on more news, more updates, investment tips, and the new investment letter that's coming out here in February, make sure that you sign up for my free investment report. There's a link below this video here. There's also a link to my Twitter account. It's also a link to my Facebook page, so make sure you follow them. Click subscribe to this channel if you already haven't done that so you can stay current, and I'll see you around.